Okay, here we are with Betsy, and Betsy bought me a present. And why don't you tell everybody what it is, Betsy?
This was a poster that John created for our spring series, and it's in the poster case outside the Anthony Wayne Movie Theater. And I had this a laminated poster board created for John so he can put it in his apartment.
Thank you very much, Betsy. It's wonderful. Is there anything you'd like to say to people?
No.
You'd like to see more people come out, wouldn't you?
We would like to see more people come out, but next week we're starting to show new movies that we haven't shown before. We have a diehard group, but I think they have stood behind us, but I think they're ready to see some newer movies. So next week we expect some good numbers showing up. We're going to be showing Who Killed John O'Neill, and we have
The Reflecting Pool, and then Terror Storm. See, it's easy when you have the poster in front of you.
It's a good memory. And then we're working on our summer series that I've mentioned a couple of times. We're still working to see if we get permission to do that. And if we do that, it will be 13 Friday nights and at midnight for June, July, and August. So it's kind of exciting. And we toying around with the idea of showing one movie all 13 nights, or showing a series of 13, and I'm leaning towards showing a series of 13 because I think more people will come and bring more people.
Well, thank you very much, Betsy. This is John Gold at the Anthony Wayne Movie Theater, standing outside the movie 9/11 Press for Truth. And with us tonight is a very good friend of mine, Eric. I would describe Eric as being the reason that I am a part of the 9/11 Truth movement. If not for him, I most likely would not be here. He taught me to think outside of the box and to look at things in a different light. And as a result of that, here I am today. Hi, Eric.
Hey, John. Thank you. That was a very nice thing of you to say. Appreciate that.
So do you remember back in the day when we were first learning about this stuff? How many emails I used to send you?
Yep, pretty much nonstop, clogging up my IM and email boxes.
Do you remember? Do you remember? I would come over to your house and I'd have this new information, and I'd start telling you about it, and you'd be like, leave me alone and whatnot.
Yes. Yes, I remember that quite well. It was basically something new every week, and I'd roll my eyes and continue with my, working on what I was doing, renovating the house or something. And but eventually, I took back, just some facts to start investigating, and kind of basically the entire reason that I did that was to refute you and say, see, John, let's just put logic here and put this up, and analyze it and look at it, and you'll see, be able to walk you through the steps and see that, you're overreacting. It's not really a conspiracy. There's nothing going on. But then when I took some of these steps to research some of the things that you were telling me, it was just the other way around, where now I'm looking at 2 and 2 and putting 2 and 2 together and just realizing that this is such a complete fabrication and distortion and obfuscation and just stuff that doesn't add up. And
what stands out most to you?
Well, what stood out initially at first was just I watched the 30-minute video or whatever it was of George Bush in the elementary school reading My Pet Goat for those first however many minutes, 7 minutes, and watching Andrew Card come up and whisper something into his ear, supposedly America's under attack, and then just not do anything.
Yep.
Not do anything. Okay. So he's scared. I don't know. I just can't buy it. Is that? And if so, if he was so scared that he didn't react in a crisis that demanded immediate attention, then he's automatically forgiven for that because he's a newbie president.
Right.
So I can't possibly buy this argument that anyone in their right mind who's fit to be president would just sit there and do nothing for 30 minutes.
Well, and also think about the Secret Service.
Right, and the Secret, exactly, I'll take it from there, thanks. And the Secret Service, who basically is supposed to protect the president and be able to react without having to get authority from him to protect him, didn't do their job by removing him from the elementary school. Supposedly the official story is who knows how many planes were hijacked. Nobody knows, nobody knows. Well, if that's the case, might one of those hijacked planes be heading for the well-publicized event at the school, at the freaking elementary school?
Right.
A mile from a nuclear...
5 miles.
5 miles from the nearest, anyway, close enough to the nearest nuclear...
No, they were 5 miles from the Bradenton, Sarasota International Airport.
Okay, but there's also...
And there were nuclear sites around.
Yes, there's nuclear power plants right there. And any of those, either hitting the school or hitting the nuclear power plant, would have basically killed him and all of these kids. So this guy is putting these kids in danger by not removing himself. The Secret Service is putting the country and all these kids and the president in danger by not doing their job. And it's no, and Andrew Card, he just said, he whispers America's under attack, and then what? He just goes back and has a cigarette for another 20 minutes. I mean, that he doesn't do that. Nobody does anything. They just wait.
Did you know that Karl Rove, Andrew Card, and ABC News all gave testimony in the year anniversary after the attack that as soon as Bush was told about America being under attack, he left the classrooms immediately. That's the story that they were laying out for us. And then, obviously, when the footage of the 7 minutes, the famous 7 minutes came out, that obviously disproved that idea, that he left immediately.
Well, I think that the long and short of it is that if you're willing to not believe your eyes and not believe your mind and not believe just reason and fact, if you're willing to just put those aside, then you could believe the official story, because you have to deny that 2 is 2 is 2 and 2 equals 4. You have to actively deny that in order to not even question it. Some of these such blatant contradictions, everything in the 9/11 Commission that contradicted the 9/11 Commission story, the official story, was left off the table.
Right.
Just blatant contradictions where the contradictory evidence is more compelling than the official one. And there's mountains of these examples. Mm-hmm. So you literally, if you even just look at one thing and decide to analyze it with a critical eye and play devil's advocate, it's not going to kill anybody. Just do it and go from there, I guess. So the long story, end of that story was that, yes, I came back to John and said, geez, you know, some of the stuff you're saying is not such kookball stuff anyway. That's when the flood of emails and IMs began.
Well, thank you very much for coming out tonight, Eric. Thank you for everything you've done.
Hold it, don't turn it off one sec. I just also want to say thank you to John, who definitely deserves a lot of credit for a lot of the hard work, and Betsy for putting these movies together. I've known John to be doing this for, I don't know how many years now.
5 plus.
Yeah, five years to be working so hard on this. That it's really incredible. So, cheers to you.
Thank you very much, Eric.